Hello guys and welcome back. Now I'm going to make this into a bit of a 2-in-1 video purely for time, and as I've mentioned, it'll be sick of hearing it, the internet carry on, so I'm not going to do too much on the video because I'm going to end up filling my phone up with loads of content and not be able to upload it, and then my phone struggles to hold all the content on it. So what this is going to be is a very short 1-day weekly vlog, as well as a bit of an update video on Project Mitsubishi Lancer, which I'm recording this. I haven't even released the first video yet, so I'm not sure if I'm going to release the first video or do this as an all-in-one. So I'm going to go around and show what I've done and what I'm going to do to it, and what I think of it, and also a bit of walk around the van and what's in just for today, and a bit of a general update in the garage. But I have got a weekly vlog from about a week or so ago, which I'm going to upload sometime this week anyways, because the walk around at the NEC video did so well. I think that's on nearly 14 or 15,000 views. That's really helped me out for my views this month. Yeah, we're still in November. Yeah, this month it's really helped us. I wish I could get more stuff like that in. Bit of bad news along the lines of the NEC. We got some prices for the hotels, and they were touching way over £400. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be going to the March one, and I don't even know if I'll be affording to go to the November one next year. So unless I have a drive down for the day, it's gonna be a hell of a shank. I might drive down for the day in the car and help out Alex on the stand maybe for a day. I don't know. We shall see. So yeah. Anyways, quick walk around video just as somebody has pulled in, so I'll get back to you in a second. I'm just going to pause the video. Actually, I'm going to stay over in the corner here because he'll go in and see me dad. So what we've got in today, this Sprinter, I'm actually subbing in the work out for it because I've got too much in this afternoon. As you know, I highly rate these vans. If you want a van, buy a Sprinter. Just don't buy anything else, to be quite honest. Yes, the seating position is not the best and it's not the most comfy, but you can buy a seat for a lot cheaper than it's going to cost to replace an engine, for example, on a Transit when the wet belt goes. Where these 2.2, 2.1, you know, the official way of saying it, these CDI Sprinters 2.1 are fantastic. In my opinion, short wheelbase, medium wheelbase, high top, these are great. To be honest, you're probably a little bit better off with the short wheelbase and the high top, and you can get pretty much anywhere, or even a short wheelbase medium/low roof, but then you start to lose a bit of space. It is nice to be able to stand up inside and have a bit of overhead storage, I must say, but then you are restricted for car parks and stuff like that, underground car parks. But even a medium wheelbase high top like this, you can park it in the majority of places. It's, to be honest, almost the same length as like an L200, like a pickup, so they're not huge. But yeah, this is in for the good old-fashioned front bottom ball joints, but these have like a massive spring that runs over. They don't have like a conventional spring, that's just a shocker. They have a huge banana kind of sized spring that runs across the whole subframe, basically like an arc like that, and there's a lot of weight on them, and we don't really have the tools all the time to change the wishbone arm, because it's better to change the whole arm rather than just the bottom ball joint. It would take you longer to get the joint out the arm than just replacing the whole arm. But I've got a lad who's a specialist with these, with all the gear, and that's what he does day in day out, work on these Sprinters, and he's coming across this afternoon just to stick an arm on it. You might say we're lazy, but I'll show you in the garage why I can't, because I've got vehicles stuck on the lift. So as it happens, we couldn't do it, and we're fully booked anyway. I've got another 3 jobs coming in this afternoon, so that unfortunately is a no-go. I'll come back to the van shortly and see if it'll replicate the noise. What it does, actually, with these, when the ball joints start to go, they make a very loud croaking noise, and even when you lift them up off the floor and check for play, a lot of times they can be knackered and you can't feel the play, because what you need to do is hang the suspension separately, so you've got to jack them up with the weight on and then let the wheel hang, and you can check it like that, or just simply jack it up with the weight on and get a lever in and check. Even under the MOT and for these, there's a special notice that you check the bottom ball joints on these differently to basically most other vehicles. So we'll have a quick walk round. Of course, like I mentioned, the minute I've started recording, somebody's turned up, so they're standing around in the garage now. So I'll probably pause it In fact, no, I won't. I'll go and get the keys for the van, show you around this a bit better, and I'll get the keys for the car as well, and hopefully he'll have cleared off by then. But this is another reason for the weekly vlogging, guys. It might to you seem nothing, but it gets right on my wick when I'm trying to record, and I've had all morning, there's not been a single person bar one delivery come in this morning where I could have done it. The minute I pick my phone up, I know it's a garage, I know people are coming in, it's all good, it's customers, it's great, I shouldn't really complain about it, but along the lines for doing vlogging while I'm working, it's not easy, because like I've said, every time I pick up the phone, somebody comes in, and it puts you off track, you know. Before I start recording, I think what I'm going to say, and I'm not the best for that anyways, and then when somebody comes in and distracts you, it just sets your mind off, and you forget things, you know. So I'll get back to you very soon. Yeah, sorry about that, guys, the sun's a bit all over the place here. Lovely old guy in there, Gordon. He likes his gizmos and gadgets. I don't know if you remember back to one of my previous vlogs, was the little tablets you put in the fuel tank, which are supposed to magically make it better, advertised by no only Mike Brewer. He's put them in, I don't know, over 6 months ago now. No difference. He's just come in wanting some upgraded bulbs. And I said to Gordon, I says, I did them about like in the winter last year. I says, you've got Osram night breakers in anyway. So, but he likes these things in the newspapers, and he likes these little gizmos and gadgets. So did Joe as well. But I've actually, funny enough, got this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before. Probably in Batter Fun. Screen wash tablets. I got given them free a while ago. I don't personally like the idea of them. But he likes all this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to give him that. See if he wants to try. I ain't putting it in my car, but he can have it for free. You know, it's meant to like increase all your the acid, what is it, like the freezing and stuff on them. But I personally, if anybody wants to know, I never ever recommend Halfad's, but Halfad's concentrate own brand screen wash is fantastic. The concentrate ones in the silver cans, not the ready mix stuff. The berry one goes to -10. And the citrus one goes to -20, and the citrus stuff looks like alien blood. I swear to God, it does. It's like a luminous yellow, but it's great. It does work. Highly recommend that. Anyways, just on to a quick look around the Lancer. But before we do that, and in case a lot of you might not realise, yeah, this is my new car, basically. The Primera went, the Camino, so I've got my Golf as my daily, and this is just going to be something for a little bit nicer, because when you've got two stinking Springer Spaniels in your car all the time, when you want to go out somewhere for a meal or something, it is nice just to get into a car that hasn't got dog hairs and stinks in it. Not that I leave the Golf to get bad, I regularly clean it, but you wouldn't want to be putting a suit on or a dress shirt and getting into that. So I want something nice like that to have, which hasn't cost us the earth. Anyways, this Sprinter, I've got the key for it now. Yeah, I just wanted to show you. These are the vans you want, really, that are proper heavyweight vans. Rear wheel drive ones, you do not want the front wheel drive ones, because they've got like some kind of Renault derived gearbox in them, which aren't very strong. You want the rear wheel drive ones. These are classed as the Euro 5s. Unfortunately, yes, for the congestion charges and all that nonsense, clean air zone or whatever it is, you may have to pay, but I'm not including that. I'm telling you what is a good vehicle and what is a bad vehicle, and these are fantastic. But yeah, the seating position, like a lot of people say, they're not the best. You know, you're sat up like on a box, and you know, I don't do long distance driving anymore, but I do know, like I say, I will say the Vivaros and the Transits have a much better seating position and more comfy to drive. But what you can do, I'm not saying it will be cheap, but you can buy custom made seats to be comfy, like what you do in the lorries. To be fair, like I've said, it would cost a lot less than a new engine in a Transit, which you won't need in a Sprinter. But yeah, great interiors, nice and simple on these. The sun's affecting it a bit. What more can you want? But I'm just seeing if I can replicate it. It's behaving itself the day I'm just pulling the van. But yeah, but that's going to get a full arm fitted this afternoon, which I'll show you why, because we can't get it on the lift. And we can fit this one on the lift, but there's a reason why we can't. Yeah, usually with these things, absolutely monstrous in the back. I want first chance of this van if he sells it, actually. I think it'll make a perfect... yeah, obviously you've got the storage across the roof you can make. You know, you put like an area at the back, cordon it off about at that point at the join of the wood. Have this area as a van, have the seats there, window. Happy days, and it's a nice sensible size to use. So yeah, great. Just a few bits I've been telling them to keep an eye on. this something to do with the door catching it. It's a shame because the rest of the van actually doesn't look too bad. So that's this anyway. I'm now going to move across to the Lancer. I'm going to try and remember everything I've done, but I'd probably need to get the service book out to tell you. Starting from the back, what have I done? Right, yeah, the reverse camera. Need to sort that. I believe that's not working correctly, but that's something for another day. Upgraded the backlights. Just to new bulbs. I haven't done no fancy upgrades on that. And I've obviously given it a bit of a polish at the back as well. The usual Bosch wiper. Had to fit it because it wasn't right. The one that was on, it just looked awful. So that's done. And also I've cleaned, that was like a mark on, it's a bit of a daft idea with the way the spoiler goes, you can't get to it very well. Cleaned the glass underneath of it because it was preventing the view through from the back, because believe it or not, it's a huge spoiler on this thing. It's like, not the, I mean, I know it's a Lancer, it's not an Evo, but that is one hell of a what do they call it, Americans, a wing on the back. Yeah, it's bloody massive. You don't realise it till you actually look at it. I've just unlocked the car and it's for some reason locked itself back up again. Just bear with us. Just gonna, what I do like about this as well, when you unlock it, the mirrors unfold out. I'm just gonna open this door and close it to stop it from doing that again. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird place this as well. I thought the high level rear stop lamp would have been up here somewhere, but on this it's here, which is not, it is high level by law, it's where it needs to be. But yeah, bit of a strange place. Central fog lamp, and I've got a whole load of goodies in the back. So starting with, I've already done an oil change, but I'm going to do a full flush on it. So I've got the proper Quantum. Obviously I've got a genuine man oil filter, as we do. I'm not going to do this yet because I haven't even used the car, but I'm going to do about 500 mile and then drop the oil again. And I've got this special genuine from Volkswagen Quantum Long Life 3 530, which is the top VAG, where I find the number, it'll be on a different tag on it somewhere. Here it is. The full decent spec 504 507 for perfect for this engine. This is not a DPF engine, so you don't need anything higher spec than that. My Miller's fuel additive, perfect. I'll be running some of that through. Also got some genuine Mitsubishi gear oil. I'm not joking, I got this for £30 posted off eBay, so I'm not even going to argue with that. We'll get that changed shortly. It'll probably be enough to keep over a spare as well, so I'm very happy with that. So gear oil change, engine oil change, wait, flush, which I'll do at some point. You'll see I've got the engine cover off, ready for the time belt to be done. And on this casing, sorry guys, the phone just went off there. So yeah, as I was saying, there's 3 little ones missing, which causes it to vibrate. And I've picked up these special grommets from Volkswagen, but not from Volkswagen, genuine Volkswagen ones, where even though it's been grinded off, they're genuine. I'll show you where those go now. And on top of the engine, so as you can see, you've got 1, 2 of the big ones, but they're missing. You see there, and there. So they just pop in, which I'm going to do, but I'm leaving this cover off because the timing belt's going to get done. Come back to under the bonnet in a moment. So yeah, getting a few jobs done. Put that back in there so I don't lose it. So that has been done. What I have got in here, which I'm not actually going to open yet, I'll show you when I've got it on the lift later, is some cavity wax 3 cans of. That's going to get done underneath because I'm starting to spread the salt on the roads now. That's a bit of the sound deadening. So yeah, there are some bits and bobs anyways from the back end. That's been done. I did go to Mitsubishi and buy the 2 seals for the gearbox, for the drain and the filler. I'm not joking, it's £7 for them. Yes, I know I might have had some lying about, but I can't be arsed. So I just want them so I can get the job done. I can't be bothered sitting waiting around for bits to be delivered, finding the wrong, finding the gearbox leaks, all that. Just want to get it done. Like I've mentioned, underneath, it may look crude, but it works. It's got a nice little downpipe there, stainless steel, because the back box, which used to come out to here, was going to cost an absolute fortune. And honestly, it sounds no different. I think I've got that on my other video. No different at all. So it's just got a little bracket welded on the bottom of it. I've obviously got it hooked into the hanger that got used on the old exhaust, and I've just got a band just to keep it from sideways movement, and it works fine. We shall see when I start using it. If I have any problems, I'll just take it to my mate to stay in the steel shop and just get him to put a straight through pipe from there just to stick out sort of here. But it does no issue, and like I've mentioned, for an MOT, that exhaust comes out after the back axle, behind the backseat passengers, so it's all above board and legal for an MOT, of which it's already done. Sorry guys, we've got deliveries and everything going on, so yeah, I don't even know where I was there, but that's a few jobs I've been getting done. So we'll move to the back of the car. Oh yeah, it was the exhaust, just a child seat there. So yeah, the exhaust, trust us, it's absolutely fine. The exhaust, what the earth am I on about? So what we've got, the timing belt, an INA timing belt kit. So obviously the timing belt with all the tensioners and pulleys. A genuine Volkswagen water pump with the fixing bolts inside. A drive belt for the aircon alternator power steering, nice new one. And also 5 litres of concentrate coolant. And obviously if you look at the bottom there, the important bit, it is suitable for VW G13, which is this engine. So that'll be nice to get the antifreeze strengthened up when it all drains out doing the water pump. Obviously water pump, time belt kit and auxiliary belt. So happy days for that. When it gets done, then I'll start using the car, because I'll be taxing it on the 1st of December on Friday. Inside at the front, the unit, that now works perfectly fine. I had to take the whole of the unit out, all the dash out, took it to Tony's radio services. He sorted us out with that. Hopefully we're all sorted. I'll get to a possible only issue I've got with the car. Obviously the aircon works, all the heating system, happy days with that. Oh, that's what I got as well, proper fitted mats, because it was missing. I hate not having mats in the car. Don't know if I showed you this on the other video. See the one at the bottom there. Yeah, I can't be doing with, it's getting absolutely minging now, like, but I can't be doing with no mats and having the plastic, the material ones that hold all the water. But bar that, we're all done at the front. But the seats and everything on, really good nick on this car. Like I say, I like all the electric folding mirrors. The main point I bought this car was this. The 1900, and what am I on about? My brain's gone cocked today. The 2 litre TDI PD. As you know, the 1900 TDI PD in my Golf. These are known as a BWC. It's a BKD block and head, which is probably the best one they did. With like a B&M intake and turbo, which is based on the 1900s, which is good. Sorry guys, got stopped again. Like I've mentioned, nobody been in all morning. Can't even count how many times I've been stopped. So yeah, BKD block and head, which is the best one they did. And it's also got the B&M of some form of intake, manifold, turbo and exhaust. But the best part of it is it's all designed and beefed up, this engine, to run a DPF. All the bracketry and everything's here, but Mitsubishi never bothered. So it's got all the upgraded internals for to run a DPF, obviously with the oil dilution to put up with that and all the extra heat that regens cause, but it never got fitted with one from the factory. Just a nice good old cat, no DPF. There's the back of the turbo there, nothing. Lovely, absolutely perfect. So beefed up engine to run a DPF, but with no DPF from the factory, so it's all above board and legal. Happy days. But like I say, the belt isn't looking overly healthy, so I'm not using it until that's done. I don't have the tools, otherwise I would have done it myself. Like I said, it's going to be getting some nice new coolant in. I've also upped all of the my screen wash, like I said, with the Halfad stuff. It's also been remapped by RJM. ECU had to come out, so he took the ECU out. It's had a full remap. It's running about 180 brake, but I believe at the wheels it will probably, as in real life power, it feels a hell of a lot more than that for a few reasons. Again, it's a VW engine, and obviously what they used to do was stick a little measly intercooler down, like my Golf has, a little serial box one I call it, down here. But what Mitsubishi did was fitted a proper big style aftermarket intercooler, and I don't know if that shows up in the sun or not, but that's one hell of an intercooler down there. So yeah, it's got a massive beefed up front mounted intercooler fitted again from factory, so that's a definite plus point. Also, the EGR was deleted out, mapped out when it was done, but what I always like to do, just to be reassured, is I got a stainless steel plate, a custom made one, and put it in there just to be sure it's 100%, in case the valve's got a little sticky area of gunk on it where it's allowing like kind of like gases through and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's fully blanked off and fully mapped out, as well as a stage 1. And believe me, I've given it a little bit of the beans, but with the belt, really I haven't wanted to. But yeah, this thing certainly moves. Had a bit of an issue with the not starting. This is what I was on about with the radio. I put on a known goodish battery, which is down here somewhere. This was actually a stop-start battery. This, which I was sworn would have been good, but it's sat for years. Fitted it, and I decided not to start again. It's got a brand new starter motor, this car as well, which you can possibly just see down there, that silver thing. So I did a test on that battery, and it actually said replace. So £120 later, I fitted a Varta blue battery. And I know it's upside down, guys, but I'm sure you'll be able to read it. Now, almost 100 amp hour and 830 cold cranking amp. So that's one hell of a beefy battery. That's even more than what's probably fitted to the van. So yeah, new battery, new starter motor, not by me. Stage 1 remap. EGR deleted out and blanked. Like I've said, it's going to have the new supports fitted, but I'm leaving all this off so it's easier for my mate Stephen to get on with. So that's that. Goodies, which I might show you later on. So yeah, obviously I've done all the basics. Air filter, oil and filter, which again we're going to do a flush in about 500 mile. Fuel filter buried down there, just to see the top of it. That's nicely done. Cleaned out the MAF sensor. Actually, it's a brand new one fitted this. I think there's a second-hand one in the boot somewhere. But yeah, all good. But the beauty with this one is it's got the all the variable vane turbos, but this has like a dynamic one where it doesn't just work off your N75 valve down here like what the Golf's got. If you can just see that there. These are electronically controlled as well, so it can give advance and decrease boost pretty much instantly. So yeah, it's got all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. And again, with it being a Mitsubishi, you don't have all the pap that the Volkswagens of this era have. 11-ish, 08, 09, all the rusty panels and stuff. This has got no rust, and it is fantastic underneath, which I shall show you later. So, and again, I'm not going to for 1 minute say Mitsubishi are better quality as such interior wise, but these are nice, simple, everything works. There's just no issues with them. Nice and simple, none of this multi-complex systems. Nice and easy, everything works. Old-fashioned, old-school technology, and they're quite lightweight as well. So, as you can imagine, this isn't like the weight of a Passat, or not even a Golf. So with that engine in, which is a bit of a hybrid from Mitsubishi, which I'll just show you, a BWC VAG engine, yeah, it absolutely flies, because it's probably quarter of the weight less, none of the DPF nonsense. So you're getting all the good stuff of Mitsubishi, the Jap quality stuff, with a good, known, fantastic German VW PD engine. A few upgrades I've done around the front. As you know, it has got a bit of damage around the front, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to try and look into those, but I'm not going to concern myself too much about them. And from a distance, you probably can't even see, but it's got a bit of the silver trim missing there. So, not many people noticed, but I've just stuck a bit of silver tape on there. To be honest, it'll do for now. It's not going to be a show car, it's going to be a user. But I do think these have a lovely looking front end. I've upgraded the side light bulbs to LED, which I had already in me cupboard, so it was free. And also some Osram night breakers, but they're called HB3s or something. They've got like the unit at the back. You can just see down there, they're like a plug. You can't actually take the bulb off. They've got a plug on the back of them, which are, believe it or not, the same as what fits on an Astra G. Funny enough, I think they were out the van. The Astra van I had. So it's got the upgraded night breaker, dip beam, and it's got the side lights, which I'll quickly show you. But it's daylight. They probably look pretty rubbish. Have a look on my Facebook page. I put them on that. I'm not even going to bother switching on the headlights because you're just not going to see them. But as you can see, daylight white. We've all seen them before. Nothing special. Just a quick upgrade. And I did have this again through the damage. There was a little tiny hole here on this front fog lamp, which works and hasn't got no water ingress. And I've just stuck some clear tape over the hole just so water doesn't get in. Again, guys, I'll do it as and when. I'm not bothered about little tiddly bits. You know, that's not how I work. I just want a car that's usable. So there we go. Little bit of an update on this, but I will come back on the same video when I have it up on the lift a little bit later on and just show you doing the gearbox oil and putting the cavity wax on underneath. Oh, and of course, you know me, Bosch specific fit wipers for this vehicle. So obviously you can see got the Bosch stamped in there. In the driver's one fitted with, as they left the factory, with the spoiler on. I'm just finicky with stuff like that. Has to have the right wipers, has to have upgraded lights. Only thing I think I might spend a little bit more money on, these front tyres are spot on. Not a great brand, Nexon or something, but the back ones are getting a little bit cracked and perished. And if Costco have an offer on, which again we're going to move inside, they normally have an offer in the winter for the cross climates. I think I've covered everything. If I've missed anything, I will come back to you on it later on. I've actually spent more money than I wanted to on it, right? But hey-ho. Yeah, these are cross climates, and Costco's normally have offers on them, like buy one get one cheaper, or buy four, whatever. I may, because they're not like a big tyre on this, doesn't mean they won't be expensive. We'll see. I might get 2 cross climate 2s fitted to the back, because they have to fit into the back by what's that word, terms and conditions, and then just move them to the front. Yes, guys, before anybody, tyre experts say, I'm aware, I know you should really have the better tyres on the back, clearly, for the back end stepping out, but at the same time on a front wheel, not everybody can afford 4 tyres, and I'm not going to pay for 4 tyres. It's a front wheel drive car. I want to get away, I want the grip, so naturally I want the cross climate 2s on the front. So just before anybody says, I'm aware. So back to the Sprinter, why that job's been subbed out. Got this insignia on the lift just for a standard service and front discs and pads. As we know, I'm not the biggest fan of these cars because they're like cockroaches, they're everywhere. So you'd think a car that's so common as this, you would have brakes on the shelf. Oh, of course not, no. Nothing special, just discs and pads. I didn't think there were anything special anyway. Nobody can get them, so it's going to be stuck on the lift till later on this afternoon. As you can see, it's got a nasty lip. The sun's getting right on the camera today. Nasty lip there, and on the back of that edge, it's just looking rough. So yeah, we'll be doing front discs and pads, waiting for those to be delivered. In fact, the pads have been delivered, but we haven't got the discs, but we can get them fitted. I'm hoping in that box, which I'll open in a minute, we'll have new shims. In fact, I'm going to open it now and have a look. Yeah, so anyways, we don't get them. There's the new pads, and I was just saying to my dad, every car we get, you get bags and bags and bags of these shims. And most of the cars, you don't need them. They're never any bother. We have got bags and bags and bags of these. But of course, the one cars that are paying, which are these, because they have like a different designer pad. They have like a keyway, like this. And these get really badly jammed up. Very, very tight. So yeah, typically you get nothing in the box. Not even new fittings or nothing. So anyways, that's why it's a good job the Sprinter's getting shipped out the day, why it's subbed out, because that's clearly the only lift, the 4-ton lift we can fit it on, and this car's going to be stuck on it all day. So for once, a plan has definitely worked in our favour. So that's this anyway. Standard oil and filter change. This is your 2-litre diesel, same as what's in this Astra, the 2-litre diesel. I believe that'll be an A20, and this will be a B20. This is Virgin, the line. I don't think it's quite, it's an EcoFlex. I don't think it's quite Euro 6. It's a high-spec Euro 5. And these are a bit of a Euro 4, barely scraping a 5. Hence an A20 and a B20. Same engine, just that's got a bit more gadgetry, like on the glow plugs and stuff, and various other emissions monitoring equipment. But funny enough, we're just on about, you're on about this a few years might be slightly concerned about the exhaust on this Lancer, how I've took the back box off. This Insignia is a perfect example. I just want to show you what new manufacturers are doing. It doesn't have a back box, you see. Same engine, and we'll just go to this Astra, like I'm saying, manufacturers cottoned onto this thinking, hold on, we can save a lot of money. So this Astra's got basically exactly the same engine, and it's got a back box here, you see, up to the front, where this Insignia deletes the back box. See, just a straight bit of exhaust, just to this one box in the middle. And as you can see on the Mitsubishi, it's got a box in the middle. I'm not going to get my knees too wet, but I'll just show you. It has got a box in the middle. I'll just try and get down without getting soaking. There, let's have a look. Where's the exhaust? There, you see? That silver box. So, really, type approval system-wise, it's perfectly fine. And like I said, MOT-wise, law-wise, on a passenger vehicle, as long as the exhaust exits behind the passenger seat, like as it does behind the rear axle. It's perfectly fine for an MOT. Don't let anybody tell you your car fails an MOT. Clearly, if it's a petrol and it's loud, that'll be a fail. You know, things like that. So you've got to do it right, not just kind of blasé. But yeah, that's this one done and dusted. But I just want to show you these cross climates. The reason they brought out that these tyres are quite old now. They brought out a new cross climate too, was these tyres, in fact the other side's worse. They start to get, again, the nature of a winter tyre is the whole point is they're soft. That's the whole point, just so you understand. The compound has to stay soft, so when the temperatures drop below like 5 degrees, the rubber still stays there kind of, you know, like, it's quite soft, where you'll find standard tyres go very hard when it gets cold, but these do tend to, and this isn't nothing wrong necessarily with tracking or anything on this car, it's just the nature of these tyres. When they start getting low, they start to break up, and I do believe Michelin have done an improvement on the cross climate too to help this. So yeah, even though I'm showing you bad parts of these tyres, I do actually highly recommend these cross climate 2s, because winter tyres clearly are only good in winter, no good in the summer. They make a lot of road noise. These are like a good all-rounder. That's why they're called cross climate, clearly. Winter, summer, autumn, spring, you know what I'm saying. Good in the wet, good in the dry, good on mud, ice, snow, you name it. So a good tyre, definitely recommend them. Costco's I do recommend them from, because they're quite expensive from most other retailers online, when they're on offer though. So yeah, that's that. And this Astra is just in for a service. So I've done the oil filter, air filter, and I'm just going to head along the back here and do this fuel filter. I'm just looking there, it's a little bit damp. I'll put a date on it. Oh, he's slacking it, that explains why. I thought it was leaking. There's written up there oh, he's actually wrote it on as well. So it was last done in, see, I tend to do this on cars just so I know, 12/22, so it is due, because this guy is like a rep, he's doing a lot of miles in the car, so we're just going to do that. I won't film it, because it's a dirty job. So yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick show you around some bits and bobs, how we're up and running. I'll quickly show you the dogs and what cameras, which have actually proven quite good. I'm not going to state what for and stuff, but they're certainly doing well for her. So yeah, it's great because we can keep an eye on who's coming, who's going, what's going on, etc, etc. I've got these two boyos here, and yes, they're no bother. I know you all like to see the dogs. Absolutely great, these two. Keep you sane, I tell you. Give me dogs any day than humans. So there we go. So I'm going to crack on now. There will be some things I've probably missed, like I was mentioning to you, but I'll think of it when I get the Mitsubishi on the lift later on. I'm going to swap them round, and I'll basically show you. I'm going to do a gearbox oil change and spray this cavity wax underneath, show you how it works, show you what it does, because like I remind a lot of people, corrosion normally happens from the inside out. Not always, but you always tend to find, I'll just quickly show you Astra, actually the Astra rather than Insignia. As you can see, a lot of these body chassis and stuff, water will get in there and sit, salt water and rot, and then it'll work its way out, and then you'll see a hole there, poke it in and go, but normally the rust starts from the inside. So this stuff, we've all seen it before. It's what I do with the Lango Guard as well. You pop it in, and you spray it, you draw it out, and it just fills all the little cavities. You can even take some of these grommets out, spray it into the sills, put it into like back axles, so it has like a hole in the axle there, pop it into there, give it a spray. I'll show you when I do it later on. As you can see there, see water's been getting in here, and it's, it all sits inside that salt, and that all comes out, and it'll, over years, and that's what'll write your car off, unfortunately, or cause you having to get welding done, where probably you'll decide to get rid of it. So yeah, definitely a good stuff to use. Oh, another development, yeah, here for the old Golf. It's rattling and banging on like a good one. I think what's happened is the front shocker has completely lost all its gas, fluid, whatever was in it. And I swear to God, it sounds like someone's brain underneath the car with a hammer every time you go over a bump. Like I've mentioned, me daughter and my son have mentioned saying, "What's wrong with your car, Daddy?" But with the issues of my timing belt on the other car, I was going to try and get this done this week, but I daresn't do it, because if we hit any problems with the Mitsubishi, and I've got the Golf and bits, I've got no car, and I need to be on call for my son and stuff like that, for taking them to school or picking them up over the weekend. So this will wait till next week. So it's a shocker, spring, in a strut top mount. Before anybody says anything, why are you using Apex, Dan? Why are you using Napa? I don't really highly recommend aftermarket parts, but I got all of this for the grand sum of less than £50, which I could not believe. I was expecting at least 80 quid for a shocker, 40 quid for a spring, I don't know, at least £30 for a strut top mount. So when I got all this for 50 quid, I could not believe it. And Kayaba for the spring is original equipment. Napa, I'm not a massive fan at all, but all it is just a piece of rubber. They're very simple strut top mounts on the Mark IV Golf, so I'll use it in Apex. Fantastic on the brakes. I've never used a shock absorber, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'll give it a go, and I'll base my opinion on that. And I suppose, doing it on my own car, I can't be no more fairer than that, to use it on a customer's car, secondary, if I agree with it. So yeah, so that's that. Which I might do a video on that on the old Golf, because I haven't done any content on that lately, because I've just been doing exactly what I bought it for, using it. And it's absolutely fantastic. Drove all the way, I brimmed the tank at the airport on Sunday. Obviously drove back home from the airport. We drove to Dalton Park, and my partner says, oh, he has a 5 for the tunnel. And so I said, doesn't matter. She said, oh, get it. And it's got them pumps in Morrison's where you can set the pumps to the exact amount, and it cuts off. I couldn't even get a 5 on the tank. And it's a fair way back from Newcastle Airport to my house, then all the way to Dalton Park. Couldn't even get a 5 on the tank. So I think that was about 70 miles, less than a 5 on today's prices, which I think only equates to about 3 litres of diesel. Fantastic. Like I've said, all these new electric cars and stuff, hybrids, still kind of beat a flipping 20-year-old 1900 PD or 2 litre PD. I know they're not clean and all this stuff, but there's only a certain level of clean you can put up with when it's your own money coming out your pocket, isn't it? You know, I've got a family to feed, I've got a mortgage to pay. I'd rather have a car that does crazy miles to gallon and costs us pennies than paying 60, 70, 80 grand for a half-decent electric car that won't even do that. It'd be out of pocket, and then not be able to insure it, and then not be able to sell it. So yeah, definitely not. Anyways, we'll leave that there. I'll give it another catch-up when I've got the Mitsubishi on the lift later on. Catch you soon. Right, I'll just show you the final few bits. I will come back after this video to show like kind of when it's done. But yeah, making the most of these lights. It's dark, it's 3 o'clock, how depressing. But these new lights are just absolutely great. Complete game changer, high bay lighting. So, on with the Mitsubishi. I want to show you with this Insignia. Like I said, I can't believe we've had to wait practically all day for a set of brake discs. Yeah, they're quite big brakes, but I'm pretty sure many of the Insignias would use this brake. It's not like a Brembo one or something like that, but yeah, just shows you what's going on with parts supply at the minute. And we're paying so much money for stuff as well. Even more maddening, the fact that they're whacking the prices up to full, like we've never seen before. And crap kind of, what's the word, stock levels really. If they're charging that much, they should have stuff in stock, but whatever. Anyways, that's that. I just want to show you quickly with the Mitsubishi. Like I showed you those little rubber grommets, I've popped them in because they were completely missing, so that'll stop that from rattling. And obviously it's got the 2 main ones, but these little ones on the main top of the engine will rattle. If you have a look, I've just put a little dollop of silicone grease in each one of them, because that is what causes them to come out basically and lose them, because when you put them on, you pull them and it rips them. I was just going to show you what it is. This stuff here, silicone grease. I've showed you it all before. You can put it on spark plug connections, all sorts. Fantastic stuff to have. But one thing which we're in a little bit of a quandary about, this is a brand spanking new Varta Blue Dynamic battery I've just paid £120 for, and this is a top quality battery tester. Now as you can see, I've got this on video, which I want to use as proof as well. That flashes when it's charging, so it stopped flashing, and this battery right now is fully charged. Now what I'm going to do is connect this battery tester to it. So we'll just switch off the power, disconnect the battery. It may say there's a surface charge, so I might just need to put the ignition on and off a few times. As you can see, that's disconnected, and we're going to connect the battery tester, so just bear with us. Of course it will be getting in a tangle. Easier said than done with one hand. So here we go. I'm pretty sure it'll start beeping saying, no, it isn't actually. Right, so this battery is as full as it can be. New battery, obviously, memory, battery test. Yeah, surface charge. So all I'm going to do is is just switch the ignition on and just clears a little bit of surface charge off it. So here we go. In fact, what I am going to do is just put the main beam on. You can hear it's slowing down. Just keep the main beam on, it's gone off. I'll just keep it on about another 5 seconds. And off. Right, so now... So now, as you can see, battery surface charge has been removed. Okay. Ignition off. Same thing again. What we're going to look at is the EN number. Down to EN, and as you can see, typical reflection there. At the end there, 830 EN in brackets. Right, so take it up to 830 and test. Enter. And I could be wrong here, but this was not reading what I thought it should be. Good. You see, it's in good, but it's only saying 69%. So this battery's rated at 830 EN, and all it's measuring back as 655. And this battery is brand spanking new, and I don't think that is acceptable. What I think's happened here is Varta have over-exaggerated the cold cranking amps, the 830, where all it can push, I can't get it more than 650. I'm going to have a word with them, and to be quite honest, I don't find that that's acceptable, to be honest. And that, if this was a customer's car, and I'm not too happy, and it's being charged, so that's that anyway. What I am going to do is print that off. It always tangles up sometimes. And I am going to take a photograph of it once I'm finished doing this video, and I'm going to send it to them. Because I don't think that's acceptable. This battery's never really been out on the road. All I did fitted this Friday, drove the car home, brought it back to the garage, and obviously I've put it on a charge, and I expected that to be at least 80, high 80s to low 90s. So to me, that's unacceptable. Fully charged, you've just seen us take it off. So anyways, that's that anyway. I just want to show you what I'm about to do. So I'm just going to show you what I've got in here. Excuse the dogs. This is the genuine, like I've said, Mitsubishi. I have a sticker on it earlier. Genuine Mitsubishi oil. Bargain. Under £30 posted to me door. I know you can just say it's 75-80 GL4, but you try and get 75-80 GL4. It's all GL5, which is fully synthetic, and you cannot put fully synthetic into some of these gearboxes because of the synchro meshes. It has to be GL4, semi-synthetic. So very, very important on a lot of gearboxes that always has to say GL4 only, not GL4, GL5. But this is my other stuff I'm going to use. As you can see, it's basically it's a spray wax basically, but it goes into all of it's penetrating, but it goes into all of the cavities. So what it is, these are little, if you look at the ends of them, they're like what they put down drains to empty them. They clear them out. They're like a 360-degree jet. So you put that down, you know, like a box section, and it doesn't just spray a jet. It's like a 360-degree coating. So obviously underneath here, I'm going to put it in all these chassis rails. I might take a couple of the grommets out. Yeah, they feel soft enough, those, actually, so I'll take them out on the sills, take them along the sills, along these, again, sills here, in the back subframe, there should be some holes somewhere, in the back arms, yeah, like into here, you see, that's hollow, so I'm going to take the tube right down into there, and bring it out, into these holes here, don't know if you can see them there, obviously the back area here, inside of those, main thing at the front, the subframes, in all these holes in the subframe, spray it all in there, get the remember the rust inside out, then right to the front, got little cross members and stuff like here, put them into there. The important bit, guys, we can all make them look bonny and pretty like this underneath, but remember where the rust comes from. I do just want to show you this engine underneath here, bone dry, perfect for my driveway. So what we're going to do, you've seen the gear oil, I've told you this once, twice, and I'm going to say it again. Gearboxes, before you touch them, make sure the drain plug down here, obviously at the bottom, don't touch it until you've loosened off the filler plug. I'll put that in layman's terms, which a lot of people do. If you go to empty it, okay, and you empty it all out, and this one's seized, you're knackered. You can't get oil back in your gearbox. And I've just marked this one because they're both going to be off and I don't want to mix them up. So what I tend to do is I leave them slack. I'm actually going to take that out altogether and it'll aid it to drain better, which is your drainer here, you see. And I've got the new seals here as well, which I've just found out I've got a whole box of, but hey ho, 2 new seals to go on. But what is very important with manual gearboxes, you don't have dipsticks or nothing, so get a nice clean container like this. Simple rule, whatever you take out, put back in. So naturally I'm going to fill this up, let it drain, and make a mark. You can see little white marks off other cars I've had and stuff. Make a mark, put that in, but at the same time these are a design where simply you fill them up, and you keep filling them up until it starts running out. Then once it finishes running, just have a drip, then you put the bung back in. But as a rule, I'd just like to work off a figure, which supposedly for this is 2 litres. So I'm hoping 2 litres comes out. I'll bang 2 litres in. If it's still not dripping, I'll put a little bit more in, wait for it to stop running, wait for the drips to become like next to nothing, then put the bung back in. That's how it should be done. But a top tip as well, that like 2, whatever it is, 4 litre can I've got, you've got, this car's fantastic for access. I mean, look at this, everything here, new starter motor, 2 bolts, timing belt area, so much space, fantastic. There's something to be said about these central engine mounts on these, are so good. You get really good access to most areas around the engine. I will say it's a fantastic idea. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do now, drain it off. I'll just pause it, I'll set it away draining, and we'll have a look at the colour of whatever comes out. It's done 89,000 mile and what, 10 plus years. So, but yeah, what I was saying with the cans, make sure you have some of these available, clean obviously, to pour it in. But what I'm going to do, I've got a little funnel thing in here somewhere. I don't know what I've done with it. It wasn't here. There, a little funnel on a pipe. Then all I do is I stick that pipe in from the top and then just pour it in. Actually, this one may not be that easy to do. So with this one, I'm just going to use the old can and squirt it in. There's plenty of space to work with it. And again, you might be wondering, why do I have these in the office? Well, obviously the heating's on in the office for the dogs. So with anything like this, wax, oil, when it's warm, it's thinner. When it's thinner, it's easier to put in. So that's what we're going to do. Get it warmed up, makes your life just a whole lot easier to work with. Hence, I don't often do wax oiling, even Lango Garden, when it gets cold like this, like freezing. It's pointless. So I'm just going to pause it. I'm going to let this stuff start to drain, and I'll come back to you. Right guys, I'll quickly show you while it's draining. This has done 89,000 mile. It is rather clean. Can't see any reason why it would have been changed. Maybe it's had a clutch, who knows. But when you get a look at it, like so there, it is a bit grotty. And as you can see, it's coming to 2 litres there now. And it's just coming to a stop. So that's nice. I'll just fill up 2 litre bottles, put them in, and we shouldn't have it. It's mainly automatic gearboxes can be awkward. But yeah, that's lovely and clean. The only thing I can think of, it's had a gearbox. It's had a clutch maybe or something, but it looks like original quality fluid, to be fair. Just move that. I'm just going to have me dinner now at 3:30 and let that drain, and then we'll commence filling it up. But to be honest, I don't really need to show you filling it up. I've already showed you what we do. Just simply, like I've said, put into one of those and fill 2 litres in. Easy as that. Obviously use new seals, torque them up, job done. I'm just busy keeping an eye on this so it doesn't start going all over the floor. But as you can see, 2 litres has come out. So it's been exactly the right amount. But you've got to remember, a lot of these oils look clean and everything, but it's all the additives and properties that are in them, which obviously over more than a decade, it's actually degraded. So sometimes oils look clean, but for the sake of less than 30 quid, and I've got enough to do 2 changes, it's actually 4 litres in that can. Not that I'm going to, but I don't know. Maybe it might need a clutch or a drive shaft or something at some point. I know fine well I've got another 2 litres of oil to do a full change spare, so happy days. I'm going to leave that there, guys. I said it was just a quick... Oh, the Sprinter. Oh, no, actually, that's it. I'll quickly show you. This is a good one for you. Of course, I come in, the guy says, oh, it's just a pipe split, but there's no water coming out of it, blah, 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 no problem. So he comes in, absolutely no coolant in whatsoever. And as you can see, the top radiator hose is split. Not a bad job. So obviously, a Corsa bearing in mind. This is another example of that insignia. That everywhere you'd think parts would be readily available. Corsa D, everywhere. Hundreds, thousands of them. Ring up Vauxhall. Can I have a top hose, please? Back order. No idea when we can get any. That's great, isn't it? So, luckily, the guy at Vauxhall, I'm not going to name which Vauxhall, he turned around and gave us the number, which was nice of him. So I stuck that number into eBay, and luckily, there's a lot of companies. Bear with us 1 second, guys. The oil's just deciding to... Wind's blowing it a bit. I put the number in, and there's a lot of companies on eBay sell NOS, new old stock. Naturally, them courses are old now. They don't keep them on the shelves, and they just bin a whole load of the old parts to clear the shelves for new cars parts. And I'm getting one posted, hopefully coming Thursday or Friday. So unfortunately, that's going to be stuck in the garage all week, but it's not a bad job. Nice little learner. So that's that one done. The van, the wishbone arm's done on it. Actually, he's took it away. He must have took it away, but Carl, he's a fantastic lad. I'll try and get underneath here and just show you the new arm to the best of my abilities. There you go, and you see it there? Nice new wishbone arm fitted. So, and the ball joint was absolutely knackered. And we've also spotted the first front tyre and the 2 back ones are getting near, which he knows about. But the front left one, he had a blowout just a few weeks ago, so he's got a brand new one. So luckily, Carl's got all the mobile equipment on his van, and he's come back later on this after, today, about next few hours, and he's going to fit a regular tyre to match that one at the left side to this one, and 2 new snow tyres on the back. Obviously, these are rear-wheel drive. He does parcel delivering down little streets that don't get gritted. You need to, I know you say, again, all 4 wheels should be snow tyres, but he's got a brand new one on the front. Again, you just got to keep things sensible. You need your traction wheels to have good quality tyres, snow tyres, and happy days, he's done. And the gear linkage was getting tight on this. We freed all that off, so it's like having the new gearbox again. So anyways, guys, I'm going to leave that one here. It was a bit of an update on the Lancer, mild weekly vlog. I can't do this every day. Like I've said just now, just filming, trying to have a dinner. Again, somebody else has come in again. It's just like, this is what I do not miss about the weekly vlogging. It is just continuous stops, one after the other after the other. But I haven't been recording before, and we've had an hour or more where nobody's come in, where I've just been pottering on doing jobs. The minute I pick up the phone and start recording, it's as if people can smell it, that they're coming in, and it does my head in. So, and it's not their fault, but it doesn't put us in a bad mood, but it irritates us. The minute I pick my phone up and start recording, bang, somebody in, then somebody else, then somebody else, then somebody else, and it reminds us of how difficult it was. Then I've got to edit all this, then I've got to upload all this when I get the internet. Can't do that. So what I will quickly show you is, I'm just going to go back and show what I've actually getting. A few little top tips. Like I say, I like to keep this car related, but a bit of banter as well, and this might come in handy for any of you guys. So I'll just go and grab them, and I'll be back in a second, and then we'll wrap things up. Yeah, I'll quickly show you these. As you know, Wi-Fi is a great way of... And if you guys know better than me, you'll probably correct us. But in my way of thinking, for less than £20 I've spent on these, it's a no-brainer. Wi-Fi is great, but when you've got a lot of devices running on it, or you demand high speeds, you're always better off having something hardwired, Ethernet cables. So, I've briefly showed you this before. So like I said, when I'm uploading my videos from home, to get the best high speeds direct to my phone, rather than using Wi-Fi that loads of other devices and Wi-Fi itself is restricting, I bought this. It's less than a tenner, I think it was. Plug the Ethernet cable in, plug a power cord in via a USB-C, plug that into the bottom of the phone, so it charges the phone, as well as providing direct line speed, basically, which is up to 1000 meg. Who knows, the phone probably can't cope with that. I know that, guys. But it's going to probably be, I would say, better than Wi-Fi, especially if other devices are using it. So that's a good one for uploading the videos. And obviously, as well as watching the videos back and stuff, I watch them on my TV and then sit and edit them on my phone. And I've got the latest 6E Fire Stick, Amazon Fire Stick. And again, when there's loads of other devices, 2 or 3 other tellies running in the house with the kids, my partner, my phone, using that to upload, it's handy to have me Amazon. I've just getting the latest 6E, latest generation Amazon Fire Stick. And this, again, is the same thing. So I can plug it directly into the... As I break it, I can plug it directly into the Ethernet. And now, again, the power cable plugs into this, powers this, which that just plugs into the side of the Amazon Fire Stick. So again, when I'm getting these so-called high speeds through Virgin, if and when it gets installed, these, for less than 20 quid, are absolute bargains bought on the Black Friday offers. just thought I'd just say it if it helps. A lot of you guys, I know a lot of devices can only I'm supposedly going to get 1,000 meg download. I know I'll be uploading, so it's not that speed. Anyways, but I know a lot of devices like phones and them Fire Sticks can probably only cope with. Sorry, I got stopped again. Yeah, so I'm aware that obviously a lot of these devices, even hardwired, like this phone probably, and the Fire Sticks can probably only run 200 or 300 meg. I think it's only the top end gaming computers and possibly a PS4, something like that, can actually get these full 1,000 meg gig speeds. I'm aware, but for that kind of money, I think I'll probably be helping myself, basically. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for all watching. Sorry if this is a bit higgledy-piggledy. It's been a while since I've done this. It's been very busy today. It's starting to get dark already. I haven't had my dinner. I'm in the middle of doing something on my own car, so I want to get the gear oil in that so it's not a burden on the lift. Excuse me. So yeah, and I've still got to walk the dogs home, probably about 6 o'clock tonight, 7 o'clock when I get home, because the guy's still got to fit the 3 tyres to that van, and we've got to finish the insignia, and I'm just looking outside on this. This is why I like the CCTV here, and there's a key I just pulled into the yard, so yeah, still a fair bit. And I'm sure something else is getting ditched on with. So yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. And I'll catch you soon. But like I said, until this new version is installed, I'm at a loss. So I'll keep all this on my phone, but I'm struggling to upload it, guys. But again, all yous who help us out, remember the buy me a coffee, the super thanks, it all helps massively. And I thank all of you who help. If that's too much of an ask, hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment. All that helps keep the channel going. And let's hope we can keep the weekly vlogs going. If everybody, a bit of morale, if everybody helps us, pushes us to do it, I might start doing it more often. But as you can see, it's hard work when you're trying to run a garage with just 2 of you and doing all the bits and bobs. But I'll catch you soon. Thank you all for watching.